Have you ever got everything once you thought you wanted or had a feeling like something crucial is missing? Imagine living a life full of success, admiration, and luxury, yet still feeling unfulfilled. In this video, we follow an incredible journey of self-discovery that takes you from the heights of glamour to the depths of personal revelation. From dazzling highs to surprising spiritual insights, this story will challenge your ideas about true happiness. Don't forget to subscribe for more compelling stories and share this video with anyone who needs a fresh perspective on life. Trust me, you won't want to miss this eye-opening adventure. Hello, my name is Jordan. I'm 35 years old, an organizational psychologist specializing in therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy. Although I was born in Ecuador, I've spent nearly my entire life in Peru. My story is one of rich experiences and evolving beliefs. I grew up in a deeply religious Catholic family with devoted parents and an older sister. Our family life was intertwined with faith. We prayed the rosary, attended Mass together, and shared our prayers regularly. Looking back, my childhood was filled with joy and a strong sense of faith. I remember the happiness of our family activities and the deep connection I had with my parents. Those early years were marked by tranquility and an unwavering belief in God. As I transitioned into my teenage years, around the ages of 11 to 13, I began to experience significant changes. I attended a secular school where religion wasn't emphasized, so my understanding of faith came primarily from home. During this period, my friends and I started exploring new experiences. We began attending parties and experimenting with alcohol, typical of teenage curiosity. I was a boy eager to discover the world and try new things. Although I was somewhat reserved, I enjoyed meeting new people and expanding my horizons. As I grew older, around the age of 14, my focus shifted more towards my social life and the adventures that came with it. My mother noticed my growing curiosity and rebellious streak. Concerned that I might be growing up too quickly, she tried to set boundaries to keep me safe. Our similar personalities and strong wills led to frequent clashes. Her attempts to protect me from the risks of premature independence felt stifling. By the time I turned 15, I began distancing myself from my mother. Her strict rules seemed overly restrictive, and all I wanted was freedom. At that age, I was determined to live life on my own terms, resisting her guidance and pushing against the limits she set. I felt confident in my ability to make my own decisions, believing that I knew what was best for myself. After finishing school, I pursued my dream of studying psychology at university. My choice of the Catholic university was deliberate. I was drawn to its reputation and the opportunity to explore diverse perspectives. However, my time there was eye-opening. The university environment was a melting pot of different backgrounds and viewpoints. I encountered new ideas that starkly contrasted with the religious teachings I had grown up with. Conversations and debates about faith, the existence of God, and the Catholic Church were common, and they gradually made me question the beliefs I had been taught. A pivotal moment came during my final year when I participated in an exchange program in Canada. I spent a year living there, immersing myself in a completely different culture. The more liberal lifestyle and diverse attitudes toward spirituality were eye-opening. Many of my new friends viewed spiritual pursuits as outdated and encouraged us to live fully in the present. Carpe diem, they would say, embracing the idea of living in the moment. This new perspective resonated deeply with me, and I started to adopt it as my own. While in Canada, I also joined a community project focused on interfaith dialogues. Engaging in these discussions, I encountered a range of spiritual perspectives that were very different from my upbringing, but profoundly meaningful. This experience expanded my understanding and challenged my previously held beliefs. I learned to appreciate the richness of diverse viewpoints and the importance of questioning and evolving one's beliefs. Returning to Peru at 25, I found that my perspective had changed significantly. I moved out of my family home, first staying with a cousin and then living independently. During this time, I was in a relationship. I had a pattern of entering long-term relationships, often lasting 4 or 5 years. I was quick to fall in love and believed that each partner could be the one. However, these relationships often ended badly, leaving me hurt and disillusioned. The cycle of intense, stormy relationships took its toll on me. I began to doubt the existence of true love and started to feel that relationships weren't meant for me. I blamed my misfortunes on bad luck and started becoming colder and more complex in my approach to relationships. Eventually, I decided to shift my focus away from seeking a partner and instead concentrated on enjoying life as it came. I thought, looking for a relationship is too complicated. I'll just live life and enjoy the moment. I decided that life was meant for enjoyment, so I committed myself to having fun. From Monday to Friday, I worked tirelessly, pushing myself to succeed in my career. But come Saturday and Sunday, I let loose, hitting dance floors at parties and clubs, filling my weekends with excitement. My schedule was packed with activities, from gym sessions with friends to work-related trips. I was always on the move, avoiding time alone in my apartment. Solitude and silence felt uncomfortable. I often found myself asking, what am I doing here all by myself? I craved background noise, so I'd turn on the TV just to avoid being alone with my thoughts. Despite being a psychologist, I wasn't keen on introspection. Facing my own thoughts and feelings felt unsettling. As the years passed, I advanced in my career, moving into human resources with better positions and higher salaries. I hit the traditional markers of success: a good salary, a prestigious company, a wide circle of friends, admiration at work, fluency in several languages, frequent travel, and a polished appearance. I believed looking good on the outside was crucial. I thought if people saw me positively, it would shape how they treated me and earn me respect. Yet, inside, I felt profoundly empty. I could be surrounded by people at a bar, but still feel utterly alone. Despite having good friends, I often felt isolated. I questioned, why do I feel this way? I'm achieving everything I'm supposed to, reaching my goals, yet something feels off. What am I missing? What do I need to do differently? In my search for fulfillment, I took more courses, traveled extensively, and focused on losing weight. There always seemed to be more to accomplish, but the loneliness and emptiness remained. I began exploring alternative therapies and New Age practices. I tried yoga, hoping it would clear my mind and bring peace and joy. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me. Next, I turned to Reiki, influenced by family members who practiced it. I learned about it and participated in sessions, but I never felt the peace I was looking for. Instead, I left each session feeling unsure. I delved into self-help books, but they too seemed limited. They spoke of inherent power and divinity within me, claiming I could achieve anything. Yet the emptiness persisted. I felt like I was missing something crucial. I sought out other people's stories and came across one that deeply resonated with me. It was the story of a former model named Andrea. Despite having a successful career in New York and all the wealth she could desire, Andrea felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness. Her experience mirrored my own struggles with success and fulfillment. This revelation was a turning point. I decided to embrace spirituality more seriously. Initially, it felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to pray or engage in spiritual practices, seeing them as irrelevant to my busy life filled with material pursuits. I thought I had more important things to focus on: possessions, travel, parties, and socializing. I didn't have time for meditation, prayer, or exploring my spiritual side. However, dissatisfaction persisted, leading to a significant professional setback. A major project I had poured my heart into failed dramatically, forcing me to question everything I had worked for. This crisis pushed me to confront my inner struggles more directly. I realized that my career success hadn't filled the void inside me. Years went by before I finally tried therapy with a medicinal plant called ayahuasca, which is widely used in Peru. This hallucinogenic plant induces a profound state of ecstasy that lasts throughout the night. I participated in 2 ayahuasca sessions, each filled with intense hallucinations and visions of what I believed were past lives. The imagery was vivid and often disturbing. During these sessions, a shaman guided us, providing support and insight. One vision during a session profoundly shook me. It was a powerful representation of my deepest fears and regrets. The shaman's guidance helped me interpret this vision, revealing that my quest for external validation was masking a deeper need for internal peace and self-acceptance. This moment became a crucial turning point in my journey. The combination of these experiences, my professional failure, the transformative spiritual encounters, and the realization that I had been pursuing external achievements to fill an internal void, led me to a new understanding. I began integrating the lessons from ayahuasca and the shaman's insights into my life, striving for a more authentic path to fulfillment that balanced inner peace with external success. She also participated in the ayahuasca sessions, observing each of us closely. There came a moment when I couldn't handle it anymore. "This is awful," I said. "I want out." She promptly pulled me out of the trance. At the time, I didn't fully understand the nature of these therapies or their potential dangers. All I wanted was to feel better, to find some peace. Instead, ayahuasca only deepened my discomfort. Returning home, my anxiety soared. I felt as though I was being watched, sensing a presence that I couldn't explain. Shadows seemed to lurk at night and I struggled to sleep. Panic attacks became a frequent issue. Overwhelmed, I turned to my father at the age of 28, which was unusual for me. I told him, "Dad, I'm feeling terrible. I've tried everything, and instead of improving, I'm feeling worse." My father, a deeply religious man, listened with empathy. "I'm preparing for a consecration to Jesus," he said. "You have 33 days to prepare. Let's do it together." Although I didn't fully grasp the significance of this blessing, I agreed. I figured that consecrating myself to Mary might be beneficial. We embarked on the 33-day preparation together. As the days passed, I began to sense a glimmer of hope amidst my struggles. A few years later, I was living with a partner, and I became pregnant. I decided to have my daughter despite not planning on marriage. I felt content being single and didn't see the need for a wedding. However, deep down, I had always wanted a life partner, having experienced long-term relationships before. I prepared thoroughly for the birth. I aimed for a natural delivery, but after 16 hours of labor, an emergency C-section became necessary. When I returned home with my newborn daughter, I noticed something was wrong. The entire left side of my body had swelled, from my leg to my arm, as if I had been inflated. I developed a fever and was rushed to the hospital. Tests revealed a severe infection from the C-section, a very aggressive bacterium. The doctors informed me I had sepsis, a widespread infection, and needed immediate surgery. The gravity of the situation became clear. At around 11 p.m. at the clinic, a priest entered with a reassuring smile. He came to administer the sacraments and confession, saying, "It's serious, but you're going to be okay." Accepting whatever fate awaited me, I entered the operating room, leaving my newborn daughter behind. My mother was in tears as I underwent surgery. The doctors discovered that my vital organs were infected and filled with pus. The situation was critical, leading them to place me in an induced coma for 2 days to allow my body to heal. During those 2 days, I experienced a profound vision. I felt as though I was leaving my body and observing myself on the stretcher. I saw the doctors discussing how to save me. I began to rise and found myself descending into a vast, dark expanse. It was like a massive concert stage, but it was foul-smelling and devoid of light. The ground was covered with worms, excrement, cockroaches, and blood. I witnessed scenes of war, with people killing each other, rivers of blood and extreme poverty. Children, appearing to come from Africa, wandered about, likely dying from hunger. I saw vivid portrayals of lust, girls in windows like those in Amsterdam subjected to sexual slavery. Scenes of sexual acts and perversions unfolded before me. Amidst these horrors, I wondered, why am I here? Why am I experiencing this? I noticed that those engaged in these acts were laughing and smiling, their hearts completely devoid of light. It was as if their emotional void mirrored the darkness of their surroundings. Grand houses filled with people admiring their wealth and laughing at their own riches. During this vision, I encountered a figure who revealed that a close friend had been secretly undermining my quest for peace, driven by their unresolved issues. This twist introduced a layer of betrayal and made me question my trust in others. Upon waking from the coma, I experienced an unexpected and rapid improvement in my condition. This miraculous turnaround led me to question whether it was divine intervention or mere coincidence. A mysterious spiritual guide appeared in my vision, offering profound wisdom that shifted my understanding of my struggles. This guide's advice provided a new perspective on my journey. Despite the miraculous recovery, a personal crisis triggered a return of my anxieties and fears, forcing me to confront deeper issues and reassess my approach to finding peace. During my recovery, I encountered a figure from my past, a mentor or relative, whose crucial advice dramatically altered my perspective and helped me navigate the challenges I faced. It was pitch dark with no light to be seen. The scene around me was unsettling. People were fixated on their bodies, both men and women, working out obsessively and admiring each other's perfect physiques. They looked stunning on the outside, but there was an emptiness inside them that was almost palpable. I was caught in this strange environment, and I couldn't help but think, why am I here? I don't belong to this world. I've lived a good life. I haven't hurt anyone or taken anyone's life. Then a figure appeared who looked just like Julia Roberts. Her beauty was striking, but there was something deeply unsettling about her presence. She approached and said, "I can give you anything you want, but you must worship me." I firmly replied, "I know who you are, and I don't believe in you. Besides, you're a woman. and I'm not interested in that. She responded with a calm smile. Don't worry, I can transform into a man if that's what you prefer. Instantly, she changed into a handsome man, exactly my type. At that moment, a fierce spiritual battle began between my soul and this entity. He knew my weaknesses and was tempting me, trying to pull me into his grasp. It felt like an endless struggle, though it was probably just a brief moment in the realm where time and space are different. The battle was intense, and I felt like I was fighting for my soul. In my desperation, I cried out to God, "Please help me. Don't let me fall into this trap. Save me from this place. I am your daughter. I love you. Please have mercy on me." The situation was overwhelming and frightening. Then I felt a tremendous force, a giant hand, lifting me away from the darkness. As I began to rise, the horrifying scene below started to fade. With the fear and anguish lifting, an incredible sense of peace began to wash over me. I saw a brilliant skylight, much brighter than the sun. In this spiritual realm, everything was clear and true, unlike the distorted view we have on Earth. The colors, sounds, and smells were vivid and precise. As I moved toward this heavenly light, I heard a melody, like a choir of children singing the most beautiful song imaginable. A profound tranquility filled me as I approached the light. I was overwhelmed with joy, like being wrapped in a warm wave at the beach, but this was a wave of pure love. It felt as if rivers of intense, unconditional love were flowing over me, reaching every part of my being. This love was deeper and purer than anything I had ever experienced on Earth, far surpassing the love I felt for my daughter, my parents, or anyone else. I surrendered completely to this divine love. In the presence of God, my soul wanted to return that love. But as I tried to reciprocate, I was hit with a powerful realization. My entire life up to that point had been empty. Despite my efforts to do good, my focus had always been on myself, my desires, my needs, and what made me happy. Even my kindness towards others had often been about fulfilling my own needs rather than truly helping them. This insight made me see how shallow my previous life had been. As I floated in that bright, heavenly light, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace and love. It was like nothing I had ever experienced before, pure and all-encompassing. This love was so powerful and real that it felt like every part of me was being wrapped in warmth and comfort. It was a reminder of who I truly was and where I truly belonged. Suddenly, I was pulled back to reality. I opened my eyes to see doctors and nurses around me, their faces filled with concern. The memory of the light stayed with me, vivid and clear. I realized that I had been given a second chance, an opportunity to change my life based on the incredible insight I had gained. The road to recovery was tough. The physical pain was hard to bear, but the emotional and spiritual healing was even more challenging. I had seen both the worst and the best of existence, and it changed me profoundly. I knew I had to live differently now, focusing on what truly mattered. I reconnected with my spiritual side, but with a new understanding. I moved away from superficial pursuits and started focusing on what truly brings joy and purpose. I began volunteering and building deeper, more meaningful relationships. My work in human resources became more than just a job. It was a chance to make a real difference in people's lives. Life took on a new meaning. The emptiness I once felt was replaced by a sense of fulfillment and clarity. I learned that the true essence of life isn't about chasing after temporary pleasures or material success. It's about embracing and sharing the love and purpose we all have inside us. Looking back, I see my journey as a tapestry of valuable lessons and experiences. Each challenge and triumph added to the story of my life. And now, I share this story as a testament to the incredible power of finding one's true self and living a life full of genuine love and purpose. Wow, what a journey we've shared. If this story touched your heart or sparked your curiosity, there's so much more magic to discover. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our next adventure. And if you know someone who would love this story, don't keep it a secret. Share the magic and let them experience it too. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to bringing you even more inspiring tales. See you in the next video.